Good Monday evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas, and we're ready to start. Hopefully your Monday got off to a pretty good start for the week, and now maybe a few minutes just to think about what happened and think about what's going to happen for the rest of the week. Maybe we can be helpful to help you do just that. That's exactly what we're doing. As I put together my Sunday night meeting last night and thought about how I'm going to meet the marketplace today, I think my plans are in place, but of course that old joke about if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So I'm expecting that there will be a few bumps and disturbances and change of plans, but hopefully I'll get the flexibility in place so that I can deal with it. I have that confidence, and I can create new opportunities pretty quickly. And I hope that's true for you, too. Hey, obviously, the big story in American politics is that Donald Trump will not debate in the big Republican Party debate, which is scheduled for this Wednesday. And I'll give you a few thoughts on that because that's probably not a bad idea for him, no matter what you think of him. And I'll give you some thoughts on that. And they're just observations. That's all they are. And then a little bit about what I simply recommended to a friend today. And it's SID. SID. The SID phenomenon. And in today's world, it's time to do a lot of startups. And it's probably time to do a little SID work. Let's see if I can help you figure that out and see if there's some things that might be helpful, useful, and perhaps a touch of wisdom and a touch of wit and humor. I'm Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas for interesting people, and you're one of them. And the program begins right now. Okay, let's look at it from a media point of view, depending, even though it's a political event. In the latest polls, Donald Trump, in terms of his Republican challengers, is way out in front. And so his story is that since he's way out in front, why should he go on and debate? And of course, some of other people will say, well, he's a coward or he's afraid. That's baloney. Donald Trump isn't afraid of anybody, and he's not afraid of anybody on that debate. That's just who he is. But there are a couple things that, knowing the media, this might be useful. First of all, Donald Trump may say and put on he may actually believe it, but this is what I would coach him to do and say, hey, you know what? Those 9 people, they don't get anywhere near the publicity, and, let them have it. Because if I'm there, then it'll be about me. I'll be a distraction to them, and because I'll be, of course, the main attraction. And when I'm gone, they'll have to talk about themselves, and they won't have me to attack, so they've got to stand on their own. And this is their chance for many of them to have their greatest audience. People will see them, be able to, get a look at them, and perhaps see how they perform under the pressures of a public appearance. And so, I'm kind of doing this as a favor for them because, I don't need the publicity, and everybody knows where I stand. Let's hear from them. In fact, I'd kind of like to hear from them, so I'm just going to watch the show. You can see how he can do that. However, what might happen is that he actually has a show right opposite on Twitter or some other social media account, or maybe on another cable channel, where he, and perhaps the rumor is that he and Tucker Carlson, who's been fired from Fox News, would actually have a interview and a show to counter that. And that would probably serve Fox right after what they did to Tucker. I'm sure that both Tucker and Trump would like to kind of make things a little bit dicey for the Fox News channel. So you see, that might be what it's all about. Or the same time, or what they might do is that they would come on right after the show, and then that way they would take away from the post commentary. People would switch over to see what Trump is going to say, and then he would talk with Tucker about his response to the people who've just done the debate. And of course, obviously, then he has the stage all by himself. So that might be what he has in mind. Well, I'm just a media strategist. I know how to do this stuff, and I know how things work. And so that might be what he has in mind. But of course, who knows what he will do? And as some of his best friends would say, and sometimes he doesn't know what he's going to do, because truly he is the improvisational entrepreneur. And I know those kind of people, and they make some big mistakes from time to time. But if they trust their gut and have the confidence, oftentimes that works for an entrepreneur. And we will see. That's why it will be an interesting thing to see what actually happens on Wednesday, as that drama. And remember, it is a drama. All business is show business. That's what I keep teaching you people. And some of you just never get it. You got to show up and you've got to perform. You've got to demonstrate. You've got to entertain. No matter whether you are a philosopher or a plumber. All of those things today, because of the internet. This is the internet experience. Electronic, audio, visual economy. It is the internet. It is, in effect, dominated now by a lot of coming artificial intelligence. It is the experience. It is the experimental. It is the entertainment. It is the audio-visual economy. And those are the people who will do best, because the products will be very much the same, but it will be the show that will make the difference. And who puts on the best show and who tells the best story wins. And we will see that happen both politically, and we will see it in the business marketplace. That's why I'm telling people, even today, I sent out a proposal saying that, in effect, every young man or woman in preparing for the ministry in seminary doesn't just need to be taught how to preach and pastor and teach. They need to know how to entertain and engage people on the media. And most of them don't have a clue, because preaching and teaching and discipling is very, very different than being behind the microphone and in front of the camera. Well, that's a little bit of my thought for this Monday. If all of this affects you, hopefully it'll be helpful to you. But let me tell you also a little bit about the SID phenomenon, and perhaps that's something you might have to do too. I'm Stan Juicer. The program is Interesting Ideas. We want to hear from you. Most of all, I'd like to see if you have the courage to maybe confront me or challenge me. I can handle it. No problem. And maybe you say, I'd like to do so on the program. And I think we might arrange that. Let's see how it works out. It'll be kind, gracious, and civil, but it might be a little bit of what I would say a gentleman's conflict, or a gentle lady's conflict. But that's okay. As long as we respect each other and help each other and try for clarity. We're always going to disagree, but as my friend Dennis Prager says, it's not about agreement, it's about clarity. And then you choose. Hey, I'll be right back. I've used these three words from time to time, but here they go. Shut it down. Shut it down. There are many projects that are fluttering and going around, and that's okay. Remember, good experiments never fail, because even if the whole project fails, you learned from it. And what I know is true of entrepreneurs, and this is true, most of them have had more shut it downs than they may have had startups, it seems. So, in effect, the entrepreneur is oftentimes in startup mode, and then they are learning that they also have to be in SID mode, shut it down. What are some things you should just stop doing now? Just stop doing. Your personal habits, your use of the media, your entertainment choices. Are there anything you should just stop doing? Shut it down. Now, I did this with a friend, a colleague who we had worked on some things, and we were putting some things together. And the clarity came to me, and I just said today, and I wonder what it will do for him. But I said, no, I don't want to do that. It's not going to work, and I don't think it'll work for you and your family. And since you're a generation or two younger than me, I don't want to waste your time doing something that will not build your future and do the best thing. So you know what? There's a way we can start over, and we need to talk about that. I'll be glad to talk about that. But that idea, it's a good idea. It may be a helpful idea. It might be a useful idea, but it's not now. I want to, but we'll talk. But it's time to shut it down. And I can guarantee you that every last one of you are doing some things that might qualify. You know, this is a good time. A lot of people are on vacation. They're spending weekends on vacation. Time to break away and go into the woods, go to the lake, find some time to take off. And I'll be doing that in August and September. I worked very hard and I worked very long, but yeah, I will be in September for sure, going and spending time where I think the best. And that is when I can walk the seashore every day and enjoy that and watch the sea and see if I can get any gifts of wisdom from the sea. And then as the evening comes, just to watch the sun as it does what it does. And then enjoy a simple refreshment perhaps. And then say my evening prayers. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Late night praying by the seaside. Or maybe just evening, because I'll probably want to go to bed early. So that's what I'm encouraging you to think about on this Monday. We're in the final week of August, and so September is ready for you to do some September startup, or perhaps some September shut it down. I'll be back just to wish you well. All of you who follow me know that I'm a man of spirit and faith. I certainly don't shove it in anybody's face. I don't do that. But without prayer, nothing works. And prayer may not be what you think it is, but what it is a radical. I mean, it's right to the root. That's what radical means. It's right to the root of things. It comes from the word radix, which is right at the center. It's the way to get at the center of life and the center of who you are and where you're going and what you want, to move into the center of your life and your work and your experiences, and then have those kinds of thoughts and conversations. And perhaps if you're like me, who believe that there is a spirit force that can be helpful to you, to try and spend some quiet time fully engaged in that. Put your phone away, turn it off, and just find out if perhaps in the very spirit of the universe there will be a voice or a thought or an idea that might come to you. I can be helpful, and that's what I do, and I do it fairly well. And oftentimes it's just because I want to help. Other times it will require a bit of a fee. Some things are free, but the really good stuff always has a little bit of a fee. Reach out to me at stanhouston@gmail.com. stanhouston@gmail.com. You're going to have to get on the radio. So go to witradio.net, witradio.net. And otherwise, just put my name in a YouTube search. Just go to YouTube, put in Stan Houston, see what comes up. And what comes up, there's thousands of things that might come up. You might find something right there that will be just the thing that you need to hear or see or experience today. Don't know, but it might work. All the best and blessings to you for this week and for September, that you will really have a September song in your heart, mind, spirit. For right now, bye for now.